ODC here, and I am here with a live video. Haven't done a live video in a while. I figured might as well while I have some of the time or some extra time in my hands, excuse me. And I hope you guys enjoy this. This is something a little bit different that I'm doing. I normally don't start videos off by showing my face and stuff like that because I'm trying to make it about the figures, not about me. But um, I got some custom accessories that I want to show to you guys, and I have a couple custom capes and cloaks and arb, I guess, from a couple different customizers. So I thought I would just, in case you guys didn't know, need a heads up or anything like that. I usually with usually smaller companies or even just like smaller like customizer stuff like that, I usually try to make a video just kind of giving them the spotlight um for some time, just so people can be more self-aware as to where their products or where you can find them or how you can get stuff like this. And I think these are good enough products here, where people should know more about this stuff. And hopefully it gets them more business. I'm not sponsored by any of these people. Like I said, these are just small customizers. But I feel like, you know what? I mean, everybody deserves a fair shake and everybody deserves to be a little well known, especially if you have a good product. So that's pretty much what I want to make this video for. I'm going to flip the camera over really quick and we'll get going with some figures here that we've got. Let me just adjust my camera really. There we go. All right. So we have got some figures here. Let me adjust my lighting really quick. My lighting's a bit much. It's a bit much today. So we've got some figures here. We've got some cloth here, a whole pile of cloth. We've got a little thing right here. What the hell's that? We got another cloak or cape right here. We got a Luke Skywalker here. We got a elite trooper back there. We got a Mando. We got a whole bunch of people here. I think last time you guys saw that Boba Fett was with this cloak on, which was on my Darth Maul initially, and that's actually a bootleg Darth Maul. I use him for my cloaked version just because his head doesn't have a hinge joint on it; it's just a ball peg because it's a knockoff from years and years and years ago. So he's always gonna be my cloaked Maul. Yes, and I know it's not laying naturally. It looks funky the way his cloak is because I haven't wetted it yet. But so last time when you saw the Boba Fett, the Tython Boba Fett review, he had this cloak on, and it looked really good. Don't get me wrong; like this is still a really quality, good cloak that I got years ago on eBay, and I don't even remember the eBay seller at this point. It's been so long; it's been like years. I want to say like 3 or 4 years. Um, for this guy, this is actually a couple cloaks I picked up from a customizer called Mythos Boba. And he does have a YouTube channel, so you guys can check him out if you want to. Like I said, I other than purchasing an item from him, I don't know him personally. I'm not. There's no sponsorship or anything like that. Like I said, I'm just doing this to be, I guess, a nice person and give credit where credit's due. Um, but I think this cloak like that he made is to a T perfect. This is what the figure should have came with. Other than that atrocity that he came with to begin with, that brown one where he didn't wear a brown cloak to begin with. So I don't know why he came with a brown one from Hasbro. A lot of people don't point that out, I guess. Maybe I was like one of the few people that pointed that out, but his cloak is supposed to be black. But the way he actually the kind of material that he went with is kind of like a, I don't know, like a stringy kind of beat up. It gives off that really cool feel. But we'll get to him in a second. So I got a couple other things I want to get to first because I don't want to go off on the wrong type of tangent here. So let me just make room here, and I'll get to him in a little bit. I'll get to Luke in a little bit too. So First, I want to talk about is John Walker Customs. So, John Walker Customs, he's got his own website. You can check him out at johnwalkercustoms.com. Like I said, yet again, not sponsored. I'm going to keep reiterating that because I don't want anybody getting the wrong idea that I'm doing something for somebody to get something, because I don't do that. He's got some really awesome accessories, especially for obviously Star Wars characters. I've got a few more here that I picked up from him. I got a couple, I think one more package on the way. Most of his stuff is out of stock right now. You just kind of have to keep looking, checking out his website. I know a lot of people don't like doing that stuff, that kind of thing, but that's kind of the name of the game when you have a smaller customizer with making stuff on his own. So, but at one point he actually had a custom A-wing, which I would love to purchase, but nonetheless, no more. He does not have those anymore. But anyway, so John Walker Customs, really cool, really nice guy. If you email him, ask him a question, he usually gets back to you pretty quickly. I don't know if he's taking commissions. I sent him an email about commissions, hasn't answered back yet, but I just sent the email today, so we'll see what happens there. We've got a couple different blasters that Hasbro has not touched. This is what I've been saying about Hasbro for a while with the Black Series, is that they've kind of gotten lazy when it comes to variety. When I think of like new blasters that we're usually want or asking for, stuff that's featured in video games, stuff that's been featured on the Clone Wars, animated, live action, stuff like that we simply just don't have. This is where like customizers really thrive, and I really like, especially John Walker's his quality here. He has unpainted and painted versions, so you can pick those up. This is a repeater rifle from Battlefront 2, so let me focus here. But it's really well weathered. He is starting to do most of his weaponry in a black plastic. I got tons of shit in the way right now. I'm trying to focus, and now everybody just all over. Great. But he does really good job with weathering and everything like that. I think these were about $10 a piece, which might be out of some people's price range. I get it. This is for the ARC Trooper rifle right here, which I'm saving for Fordo when he finally gets to me. And then we have, which I'd like to pick up a couple more of these, the Gatling Gun. This is specifically designed from the Gatling Gun from the Clone Wars, so it works. It's definitely 3D printed, so you got to just be careful with it. Like I said, this is a customizer. It's a one-man machine, but it's hand painted. It looks really well. It fits in their hands really nicely. So when I do get a custom hard case, this is going to go to hard case right there. So, and then we've got the Elite Trooper here. Elite Trooper. There's I can't remember her name, but there's an Elite Trooper in that squad, and she's got a flamethrower, and this is the direct flamethrower that's in the Bad Batch. So now she is complete, which they didn't include that with any of them. Like, man, they really dropped the ball with some of these releases. They just gave them the typical blasters that we've seen with clones forever. With little to no variation in their weaponry. The clones have so many different weapons, and they just don't do anything with them. We either get the same old rifles over and over again, this rifle, or we get the regular. I know I'm using a 3 3/4 inch figure, but I'm trying to use it as a frame of reference. The regular carbine rifle. So I don't know. It'd be nice to get more variety from the Black Series. That would be cool. We always get the DC-17 too, and this is what I was talking about in my review. This is kind of how the Jump Trooper should have came. I don't mind what he came with. It just seems kind of bland a little bit. On top of that, I'm seeing people with issues with this guy's legs too. I'm seeing people having the right leg, having the left leg from the knee down, and the left leg having the right leg from the knee down. So it's kind of a mess. It's kind of a mess with this figure. I'm starting to notice more and more after I've shot the review. So I wish I could actually go back and add that stuff in. But I digress. This rocket launcher is very well painted. Like I said, it's on Walker Customs. It looks really good. I think it fits the bill. This is more of like an Imperial rocket launcher, but I do have the Clone Wars rocket launcher on the way from him. So once I get that, I'll shoot an updated. I don't know. I'll take some photos and just upload them either onto the community page, which is on my YouTube page. I also have a Twitter, and now I still always have my Facebook page. So I'll post some photos on there. I need to start posting more photos regularly on there. So I promise I will. And I'm actually noticing that if you look at this leg, it actually is the right leg. You see how it kind of kicks out right there? Yeah, this is supposed to be the inner calf. So these legs are switched here. So yeah, it's happened to mine too. So, but it happens, I guess. It's Hasbro. Hasbro does Hasbro. I don't know why they make the decisions that they make. I don't know why he's not on the new Clone Trooper body. I don't know why they're doing Frankenstein molds with these releases. It just doesn't make any sense. There's no rhyme or reason behind it. It's just I don't even know why they do the things that they do sometimes. But regardless, I just kind of wanted to show off some options. If you guys, kind of sick of the same old, are making, good quality custom weapons for you guys. I brought up what was it, Gridiron Studios in the past. So this is kind of the Star Wars version for Gridiron Studios. It's obviously not a company; it's a very smaller company. Like I said, it's just one customizer, but I think he's got some really good product, and I really do like the 3D cast that he does. He does a really good job, and this plastic feels sturdy and thick. So it feels good. It is 3D printed, but it's still really good quality 3D printing, I think. I think there is such a thing of good 3D quality. It's not mass produced by any means, but all right, so let me get them out of there. If anybody has any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Enrique, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, they are pretty. They are really impressive as far as the. I mean, there's even a barreled rocket launcher hole. Where if we got this from Hasbro, that would be filled in right there. So, but that is in there. That's pretty deep. Let's actually test how deep that is. Let's take this right here and let's see how deep that actually goes. So it goes to about there. I mean, it's not the deepest, but that's pretty good. I mean, it's deep enough where you can get the illusion of something is going to come flying out of there, a projectile of some sort, So that's pretty cool. I like that. So that's John Walker Customs right there. Anybody has any questions, don't hesitate, like I said, to ask any questions while the live video is going on. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you guys have. So let me just toss them out of the way. I'll actually leave him her right there. So we can, and I'll leave him in the background too, in case anybody's got questions about that stuff. Let me just get these out of the way. All right. So next up, we're going to check out Josh's Custom Capes. So I got a couple things from Josh. And this is some of the stuff I'm just going to do on camera. That's kind of why I kept him normal, reggy. Let's go with him too. We're going to need Mando in here as well for this one. And then we're going to need Luke as well. Or did I get that from somewhere else? I'm trying to think. No, I got that. And then we've got this wired cape here. All right. Years and years and years. I have had this kind of custom kit bashed Luke Skywalker. He's been kind of my definitive Luke Skywalker for years. And I did a video of him a long time ago. I want to say about 2018. Um, kind of just showing off the custom head. There's the custom head. I think I picked this up off of eBay. Sculpt. I actually think I had the head like I think I picked up the head like around 2017. I just had it forever. But I've had this cloak for a long time. This is another one of those cheap eBay cloaks that were around $10. And it's been kind of like the go-to for me. But now we have this nice, beautiful wired cape, which I'm going to put on here. And we're going to see how much of a difference. Now, I love the way that this cape just sits on him. It sits beautifully. But, you know, for the sake of the video, we're gonna pop that off. Let's see if his head's gonna fall off or not. I can't remember if I put sticky tack in there or not. But this was Luke, and this is obviously a custom piece as well. I think there's a customizer on eBay that you can probably pick this tunic up, this like Jedi garb up from them. Let me just get Mando, put him back there so I'm not knocking people over here. We'll move him over there. So I got this custom wired cape from Josh's Custom Capes. And you can find his store on Etsy if you want to. Well, I don't know. Me and wired capes don't get along. And it sat perfectly. And usually it'll hold. That's the good thing about wired capes is that they will hold a shape. That's kind of the purpose of them. So I'm going to try and kind of get this in to how I want it. It's in a little bit deeper. Now the wired cape part, which we can make this look like it's flowing. This is all black. And this is more for Mandalorian Luke because he wears an all black cloak for that. And we're going to kind of just pinch it downward like this. So it's kind of hiding his face because in the Mandalorian scene, he kind of has his face really well hidden. And I just want it to flow outward, kind of like almost like a teepee. Like it's just flowing outward like that. And it's just very simple. I mean, you could definitely have him holding his lightsaber and wielding it and doing crazy stuff with it. But for this, I love the way that it sits. It sits so damn natural for him, and it looks so nice. So it's deep where you can still see his face, you know, but it's not too deep where you can't see his face. Where on this cloak, which is still a really nice cloak, you couldn't really see his face unless you had it positioned just right. Where this, you can see a little bit. It gives a little bit of mystery. It casts the perfect shadows, especially for action figure photography, stuff like that. So I really do like it quite a bit. And this is going to definitely be my Mando Luke. This is on the Jedi Luke body from the Black Series, and then he's got a custom head. So that's pretty much it. But that's pretty much it for the Luke cloak. I finally have myself a black Luke cloak. So there we go with that. Let's get him out of the way so we save some space here. Okay, now moving on to the next one, which should be a quick one. I've had this Mando. This is obviously the Beskar Mando right here. I got him with the Captain Phasma spear right here, just because I think it works well. Now for about 2 years now, I've had nowhere to put Grogu. I've had him holding Grogu, but now that I have this spear from the old Phasma, he's got nowhere to go. So I was like, you know what? I saw this at on his store, on his Etsy store, and I was like, you know what? This is perfect. And it's cloth goods, and it's going to look great. So let's see if we can fit him in there really quick. Just want to see how well he's going to fit in the little satchel here. There we go. We'll kind of have him hanging out there like, hey, help me. Help me. Help. Um, but he fits in there. He definitely fits in there. We'll have his little arm sticking out. And then we'll just kind of slide this over him. I'm going to have to move this. And how I have his cape tucked, I'm going to have to move this cape as well now. How do I want to have this? I'm trying to think how Mando has his whole thing situated here. It's not over the shoulder. It's got to be under the cape. So we'll move this. We'll take the cape off for a second. This is another like eBay cape that I picked up a long time ago that I just happen to have. All right. It does feel a little bit thin for the strap, but it'll get the job done, I think. Let me just get this off. And then we'll just kind of dangle him. So now this shit. We'll just put Grogu in the front because I'm going to feel bad for him bumping into, his arm and stuff. Let's see. Okay, so we're just going to peg that in just like so. Just like that. This way nothing's being pinched or anything like that. Then we'll go ahead and throw his cape on. Or back on, excuse me. Throw his cape back on. And there we go. And then we'll do this kind of like swing thing that I did before. There we go. And he's starting to look official here. He is starting to look official. Let me just get this so it's not bunched up like that. It looks ridiculous. There we go. Really looking forward to the kind of definitive version of Mando, like a season 3 Mando figure where we've got, we actually have the updated plating for his leg, which John Walker Customs actually does sell as well. So, but this was from Josh's Custom Capes. I know there's a lot of J names in here thrown around. But, yeah, there we go. So this is going to be my kind of go-to look for Mando. I was looking into getting the figure arts Mando for a long time now, and then I was like, you know what? I can't do, no. Figure arts out of the budget now. So I'm just going to stick with this $20 figure at the time. Now everything's jacked up to 25. But I think that looks good. Grogu sits in the satchel nicely. No issues there with him. He looks good. We've got the Dark Saber. We've got the spear. And we'll throw, why not? I kind of put this on here. I know he technically doesn't have to have this gun anymore, which is a shame because I loved this pulse rifle. But this is kind of like if I could imagine Mando with all his stuff, like this is how he would look, Let me get this back in here. I don't know why this is not cooperating here. But there we go. So this time I'm going to display my Mando just like that. I think that looks good. He looks official. He is ready for war. And, yeah, so that's pretty much it for the little satchel. We'll just scoot him aside. We'll scoot him back over here. Okay, right next to there. He's not going too far. And next up, I'm going to just kind of bring this up. And last but not least, we've got this situation going on here. Now, there's a couple things I have to do to kind of get to this look. I have a few of these guys, and I was like, you know what? I'd love just some variation here. Maybe we'll make him the clan leader or something like that. And I'm going to paint. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to take this off since I already kind of removed that from here. Okay, we're going to take that off of him. And then what I plan to do here, and maybe I'll do it in a separate video. I don't want this video to be too long, but I'm going to paint his arms black right here, the chest. I'm going to remove the head. I'm going to paint all of this black, the back black, in between the ammo holsters, or the bandoliers, excuse me, black. Then I'm going to trim this off. And I'm going to trim this off now just to see how it's going to look. But first, before I do that, I'm going to see if this skirt piece, now this is another thing I picked up from Josh's Custom Capes. We've got this kind of skirt piece that's all black, and we're going to shimmy it over. But what I'd really like to do, though, is cut this plastic skirt, which I don't like. I'm just being honest here. I don't like it. It's entirely too heavy on the figure. He's got all this leg articulation that's very hindered because of this heavy shit. Don't get me, the sculpt looks really good. It's textured, all that stuff. Like, the figure is still good with it, but it's so much better without it. And that's why I think really drew me to getting this little setup. That, and, having some variation in the Tusken Raiders is pretty cool. So I'm going to cut this off here, and I'm going to cut this off over here. And we're going to see how this skirt piece looks when it's on him. And then we're going to put the robe on him too. And then later on, I'll go ahead and I'll paint him up. I don't have the necessary tools right now to paint him here at this moment. Then we'll get to a couple other things I want to discuss, but we'll go ahead and we'll just very carefully cut this off. I'm trying to go too fast here when I'm cutting this off. I wish I could fast forward, but keep in mind, I am shooting this live, so, and always cut away from yourself. Don't cut towards yourself, obviously. I'm just kind of finding the seam here and cutting with it. Maybe I should have probably made this not a live video, but I should have probably recorded so I could fast forward through this or skip through it. And I don't claim to be a customizer by any means. I just kind of like to kit bash and do certain things. If I had the talent, trust me, if I had the talent to do it, I would absolutely customize stuff all the time. That would probably be what I spend a lot of my time doing, would be customizing stuff. I would love to do that. And I guess, I don't know, I guess practice does make perfect. You kind of have to just keep trying and learn from failure. That's kind of with everything in life, but there we go. There's one half off. I guess sometimes I'm afraid of, I'm not going to lie, I'm afraid of ruining something, and then, then I got to buy another one, and that's not something I really feel like doing, I guess, for the most part. So I usually leave the customs to the customizers. I've done some customs in the past, but nothing too crazy. Some actual customs, like swapping parts and stuff like that. I'm sure you guys know my Marauder series, which I'd like to bring back as soon as they actually have the new stuff in stock. That would be wonderful to do. But, waiting and waiting. Waiting on you, Marauders. I'm waiting. I'm sure you all are too. I know there's a lot of people that were still interested in that. How about that Will Smith slap last night? Oh, that was funny. All right. I don't know. Some people feel a certain way about it. I look at it like, it was a bad joke. Probably should have moved on from it. Regardless of whatever situation you got going on, people are going to say things. You can't go around slapping people whenever you want. All right, so there we go. We got that off. Now, because I got that off, it's not the cleanest cut. I know. I was just doing that just out of right live and such. So I guess I didn't take my time too much because I don't want you guys hanging around here on a live stream, just bored. So I got that off, and now we have all this articulation. I did the same thing with the Emperor I have on my display. There was a robe kit that I cut to the plastic robe that was hindering him quite a bit. And now we have all this leg room to work with. And I'm going to throw this little kind of robe skirt piece on. And we're just going to see how it works, how it goes, how well it situates onto the figure. So let's get that on there, get it up. kind of hike it up like a skirt. And so this is kind of how it's going to sit. Kind of would like it if it's set a little bit higher, because I don't want to go too much higher, and I also want to make sure that that's... So, I mean, we're still getting decent range of motion here. It's not necessarily the best, but he can kick his leg forward now if he needs to. So there's that. So it is kind of covered, and it's also going to be, don't forget, it's going to be covered as well. I'm almost thinking maybe I should cut off the pouches and both sides of the belt and remove the pouches, hike the skirt up over, further up, so you kind of see his legs a little bit more, kind of higher, so it would be like up here, and then glue it to the body, right? And then glue the pouches right here on him, and then just paint the rest of the torso and such like that. So I don't know. I'm still pondering it, but I definitely don't want to lose this sculpt, so I'll kind of have to just maybe hike this down a little bit. But that's essentially part of the kit that he comes with. And then we're going to put the robe on. We're going to see how the robe looks. Okay. Now, the way this robe works is when you see it, you're going to be like, what the hell? How am I supposed to do this? So his arms are supposed to fit into these little dimples right here. See these dimples right there? His arms are going to fit right into there like this. Just like so. And over here as well. Perfect. Just like that. And this is how the robe is going to sit for him. And he does have armholes, legit armholes, so they're not going anywhere. And then once I paint this all black and such, it might be a hair long, a hair too long. Like, look how long that is. I guess I could snip it a little bit. It is a hair too long, I think. But maybe I'll be on the search for a custom head, a custom Tusken Raider head that I can swap with this and make him some sort of clan leader or something like that. Or even just the clan leader head from Book of Boba Fett or something like that. We could go with that. And then once I get him all painted up, he'll look way more official. But I do think I'm going to probably cut this off, bring this up, glue it, put the ammo pouches on glued to the skirt piece too. I think that'll look a lot more official once that's all set. So I will do an update on this, but I just kind of wanted to show it off, show how the kit comes and everything, and I think it's pretty decent. Like I said, it's a little bit long. Not gonna lie, but the quality does feel nice. I would also, and I'm doing this kind of dry. What I would do is wet this. If you once you get cloth goods, you should unless they're wired like the Luke cape over there. I would wet them. Try not to wet them too much. You just kind of want to make sure that they're damp, and then wring them out really well. Not too hard where you break the fabric or anything like that, rip the fabric. But wring them out and then let them sit in the sun, and they'll kind of display more of like a natural crinkly look. So that's what I did for this Boba Fett right here, the Tython Boba. And it's actually recommended. So if you wet your soft goods, that's kind of what I did with this original kind of eBay cloak for Jedi Luke. I wetted this, and then it kind of sat like perfectly on him. So that's pretty much it for Josh's custom capes, which were this, the satchel, and the Luke cape. So if you guys are interested in any of that, you can check them out on Etsy. Cool guy. Took him about everything about a week to get here. So well worth the wait. I'm pretty happy. I can't wait to finish customizing this guy and getting a custom head too, maybe, or even just painting it. Maybe I'll just paint some of the straps black and leave some of them tan or brown or whatever. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But for now, I think this is going to work. So we'll get Luke out of here. And we'll get him out of here. There we go. And we'll get this silliness out of here. And we'll move Mando out of the way there. And we'll leave those two. Why not? All right. So last but not least, we're going to talk about Mythos Boba right here. And I finally got one for Kit Fisto, which he was in much need of a cloak. I don't understand why Kit Fisto didn't get a cloak. Hasbro went way out of their way to give us a Plo Koon with a cloak, but no Kit Fisto. So I was like, what the? Why would you do that? Another Hasbroism that just doesn't make any sense. They just do things or don't do things for the sake of not doing things. But this is from Mythos Boba. Like I said, he does have a YouTube channel. You can check it out. He shows tutorials on how to actually use the capes once you get them, how to display them on the figure and such. If you don't know how to do any of that, you can do that. Hello there, great game. Hello. So if you wanted to do that, you can. But both of these I had to wet, damp. I did like a damp wetting for them and then wrang them out and then just let them sit. I got to say that both of these kind of sat really well. With Kit Fisto, I kind of had to tuck the hood underneath all of this because you don't want to lose the sculpt of the head, but you do want him to at least have his Jedi robe on. And I think it looks a lot better. It's just a really nice Jedi robe, very simple. What I like the most with his cloak is that his cloaks do this with the arms, especially with the Jedi robes. They kind of droop down, so they're nice they're a nice tight fit here, and then they droop down. It's really that natural Jedi look, as opposed to like the Hasbro ones, which were very straight, and then they got that weird like poncho hood. It's just awkward on all the Hasbro cloaks. I just don't like the Hasbro cloaks at all. But especially with Boba Fett, I want to say he's probably the crowning jewel right here. This cloak was like meant to be displayed with this Boba Fett. And I think I already liked this Boba Fett figure to begin with. It's a really good sculpt and everything. You could have it kind of draped over if you wanted to, but everything works really well. I mean, the head fits on there perfectly. Once you wet it and then put it on the figure, it just wants it onto the body naturally. It just looks so much better from that regular. Oops, there goes Kit Fisto. Sorry. All right, let me get them out of the way. Come on, Kit. There we go. All right. No, don't do it. Don't. Okay, you're going to be an asshole. Fine. Don't do it. Stay. Okay. All right, let me get Elite Trooper out of here. Get that out of here. This out of here. Okay. This cloak was meant to be on this body. I swear to God, it really was. This is one of Hasbro's better figures this year, I want to say. The head sculpt, it does leave me wanting a little bit. The head, I want to say the paint on it, the white stuff. But this cloak does cover it well, and I think it's really well done. I love everything else about the figure. This just kind of completes the figure overall. I think having this cloak like this, it being black, it being more accurate, and the feel, it's like I don't know how to explain it. Like you can see even the little like ridges, and almost looks like it was on like a mat with like grates or something like that, like a grated mat or something. Because it's got this different feel to it. I don't know. It just feels like it would be like the actual thing Tamura Morrison was wearing in the show. That's what it feels like. So if you want to pick up this Mythos Boba cloak, go for it. He might have some in stock still. If not, if you reach out to him, he might make some more for you guys. But it works out really well, and I feel like it really does complete the figure. There's something to be said about cloth goods that just settle well with plastic. And that was always the thing that I loved the most about the Black Series, and kind of wandered away from that here and there with some of these releases. Was all combination of cloth goods with plastics. The fact that they were doing that so well for so many years, and then they kind of drifted away from that, is is kind of worrisome for me on some levels, because I feel like some of the quality has gone down while in other places has gone up. Um, like jacking the prices up and then giving us, a clone trooper which sells on its own. I mean, if you put clone troopers out there, people are going to pick them up, including myself. I love collecting clone troopers, but he kind of screwed the pooch on this one. But everything else, and I'll try and bring everybody else in the shot here. Let's get Luke over here. Almost knocked the shit over. There we go with that. And then we'll bring him in here. We'll put him right here. There we go. And who am I forgetting? I am forgetting someone. Let's get Kit over here a little bit more. So all of these, all in all, I want to say they're very simple as far as how they're designed and such, except for obviously the especially the 3D printed weapons and stuff. But really well done as far as customizers go. I think these are worth the money that I paid, and pretty happy with them. And I think overall it kind of completes the figures. It's unfortunate that Hasbro can't do the things that they need to do to get these figures the way that they're supposed to be, especially with the price increases and stuff like that. That's kind of worrisome that we're still getting the same kind of quality, but with a higher price. It's like, where's that money going? Especially when we're paying $32 for a clone trooper that's essentially just a re-release overall with everything, 100% re-release. I don't know. It's nice though, because I mean, once you don't have, if I take away all this stuff for just Beskar Mando, he essentially just comes with a rifle and a pistol, and that's about it. The Dark Saber, which actually I have one from John Walker Customs coming, and that one looks way better than this one. So I might give that back to Moff Gideon and give the John Walker Customs to this, because it just looks so much better. The paint job on it's so much better. It fits in his hand better. Once I do get a proper spear, I'll replace that as well. But for the most part, I'm really happy with these. I'll give an update on all of these and show some updated photos with them and their cloaks and stuff on. And yeah, I just want to make a quick little video. Does anybody have any questions? It's nice to see a channel about toys and custom figures. They look beautiful. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Great Game. I appreciate that, bud. But yeah, I usually try to give customizers the spotlight as much as I can. If someone does a good product, I usually try to let people know to go get some of that product. It's worth the buy. But yeah, so I think that might draw this to a close. If anybody doesn't have any other questions or anything like that. Other than that, like I said, I just kind of want to make this a quick little video. Ghost Trains, what's going on? Oh, it's all good, man. You can always watch this on playback if you want to. No big deal. Like I said, I didn't want to make this a too long of a video, because then people kind of get turned off by like long live streams, and they don't know where certain things are, and they don't want to watch a long live stream. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. And if you're watching this on playback, thank you also for watching it on playback. And be sure to write a comment down below. I always try to do my best to comment, or at least let you know that I did read the comment by liking it. But usually when people ask me questions, I usually will answer them. So for the most part. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.